Hello, my beautiful and lovely gamers today. Now, I saw this when it was live. I didn't want to make a Hanzo new PTR thing because I wanted to get an opinion on it first. You guys said that you liked more of these PTR videos, so, we talk about the new Hanzo buffs and nerfs and adjustments or whatever you want to call this. And I am extraordinarily happy about this, and I think that this can make Hanzo, I would say, way stronger, like more viable than what he is now. But first, there won't be a stream today. I'm very, very sorry. I'm playing in the open division as a substitute. As you know, I'm coaching two teams in the open division right now, but I will be playing for one of them as a substitute as a hit scan. So I have to prac with them today, and because the tournament is tomorrow and on Sunday. And then I have something else I was supposed to do before that, but essentially that's why I can't stream. It's essentially because that crashes with one of my schedules, so I have to move that in front and blah blah blah. You know that. I'm very sorry about it, guys. I tried to fit in a stream, but it just like then I have to stream like now in the morning. But then I have to do my exam work, so that's fun, right? Exams are always enjoyable. But as I said, let's go on. So for those of you who don't know what happened to Hanzo, really quickly, his particular speed had been increased on his standard bow shots from 85 to 100. I love this. Then this happens some stuff to his sonar arrow. They decrease the cooldown for 20 to 12 seconds. However, they also decrease the duration of the sounding arrow, so you can't see as long through vault, from 10 seconds to 6 seconds, and they decrease the radius from 10 meters to 7 meters. They also gave him a new leap, so if it jumps about, like if you're moving forward, it gives you about a 10-meter leap. That's essentially what it does. And then they gave this new storm arrows, I think they call it. And essentially it is that he gets 6 shots that he can rapid fire. They all fire with full, it's the same speed as it's a full charge arrow shot. They do less damage than the full shot arrow, but he has 6 of them, and he can rapid fire that shit. Like, it goes fast as shit, okay? So that's essentially his general stuff. And then of course they removed scatter arrow for that. Now essentially the storm arrows does approximately, according to my mathematical calculations, 75 damage per arrow, meaning a headshot is actually pretty good. You can essentially, if you land a full charge body shot with Hanzo and then you follow up that with a full shot, with just like a body shot from his new storm arrows, then you will kill the target as long as it's at 200 HP, which I find fairly nice. If you land you can also just kill the target with 3 body shots, or you can land it with a headshot and a body shot. Something around that, that's essentially what you can do. Now, there's a couple of things that I want to talk about before I go into detail about how this storm arrow will most likely change this. And that is the most important thing for me, and that is his storm bow has increased the speed from 85 to 100. If you guys don't remember, it was already increased from way back. Way back, his arrows was way slower. They already increased that up to 85, now they increased it one more time up to 100. This is huge for Hanzo players. This means that the projectiles are easier to aim with, meaning that they are more consistently gonna land on people. It's going to be harder for people to dodge them, especially at longer ranges, and that is incredible if you play Hanzo, because that does that if you have good aim, you will be able to land consistently more shots. Of course, you have to adjust a little bit to adjust into the new speed, but it's in general, it's faster, meaning it's easier to shoot with, which is, I'm just happy about that. I think that's incredible. I played around with it on the PTR. It felt very nice. I still have to get used to the new speed, but it's very, very nice. So it's a very, very welcome buff. And I think that's incredibly important by removing something like scatter, that they also supplement this, essentially giving now Hanzo a quote-unquote higher skill, where they're focusing a lot on, you know, him being able to have good accuracy with the new storm arrows and his storm bow, that you can land consistent shots like that. Your sonic arrow, the cooldown, that's just nice in general. I think that that's actually just a good buff, because it does that you can, instead of just marking one area and it will be marked for a longer duration, you can now mark faster multiple areas, lock down multiple stuff. I think that's nice. gives you a little bit less of camping security, but that's fine, I suppose. And then you got the launch, which I welcome. It makes you harder to hit. It does that you can do some really crazy, like you can get to some spots where you really couldn't get to before, or you can at least get very much easier to them now. And on top of that, in mid-combat, you can now move to different angles. Remember that you can leap while still having an arrow charged on your bow. So you can leap around corners, you can do whatever, really. Or you can peek the corner, leap back, or whatever. You can do so much with this. I love it. The cooldown, I think, is fairly decent as well. So I think that all of these are very welcome. But let's talk about the storm arrows, because I'm expecting that is what you guys are coming from. My biggest issue when I saw this ability and I heard that they were going to remove scatter is that scatter to me is more than just an ability that I get kills with. Scatter for me is an ability that reliably tells me that if I face an Orisa, I can take down a barrier. That's what scatter is to me. It is not just something that, yo, I can nuke targets, I can deal insane damage to insane people, right? Like, I can do that, and that's fine. But especially the fact that, you know, I can remove shields in front of me. If my team doesn't have the DPS to do it, or my team doesn't want to do it for some weird reason, I can do it. Yeah, sorry about that. That was a yawn. So I can do that, and essentially, I think that was one of the things that made me very confident with when Hanzo picks, because you could do stuff like that. Of course, yes, you could use it to bullshit scatter inside of a room, which you cannot now, which essentially does that some of these sidelines are way safer. When you now are behind cover, you are actually behind cover. They actually need to LOS you to kill you. They can't just send the scatter arrow in an angle that will bounce off a wall and then kill you, which I suppose is fine since it's kind of bullshit and all that stuff. Remember that I come from a position of a Hanzo player, so for me, scatter arrows has never been something that really frustrates me because of the fact that I also play the hero, even when I played other heroes. Anyway, how is this going? Well, one of my biggest concerns was also that, you know, okay, they're gonna remove his arrow. Are they gonna give him like a rapid fire of puny arrows that is not gonna do really any damage, or you have to land all of them to give a lot of damage? Essentially, do I have something to bust down tanks with, right? Because killing standard DPSs shouldn't be a problem if you have the accuracy. The 200 HP, not a problem. Tanks, on the other hand, right? Hogs, Saryas, right? All of these, right? Can you burst those? Can you punish those properly? And I think that you actually can. If you think about the DPS output that you get from this new ability, right? If you land all 6 into a body, which should be easy on something like a Winston or something like an Orisa or a Reinhardt, as long as they don't have a shield, of course, that's 450 damage, just pure out fuck you in and that's quick damage, right? It's not like a standard Hanzo, which is 125, charge another one, 125. This is like, you know, 75 to each shot, like pang, pam, 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 and then it's like 450 damage straight up your ass, which I find to be very good that it has a DPS potential. And on tanks, since it's easier to hit, I can imagine that you won't land all of those in a Zarya, but on a Reinhardt, on a Winston, on a Orisa, you should be able to, as long as they don't have their barriers up, or if you had moved past the barriers. On top of that, you have something like if you land all the headshots, right? Like on a Winston or on a Diva that's just running straight forward on you or something like that. That's a 900 damage output, meaning you can very much still defend yourself, and you're not actually a slave to corners and angles anymore like you were before. Like before, you had to like watch out, okay, is the tank standing in a stair? Because if he is, then I can't really scatter, because the ledge of the stair would most likely bounce half of my scatter like up into the air, and the other one will not hit the monkey. So now it's more like, as long as I can aim at your head, you fucked. And I think that's pretty cool. On top of the fact that you can use this as a securement, as I said, if you land a body shot on a let's say Diana of the opposing team, and you don't really have the time, or you don't really confident with your accuracy that you can do another follow-up body shot, you press E, you just like spam 6 arrows down range towards her, you hit one of them, she dies. There's some damage fall-off off the ability. I don't think there should be damage fall-off, or at least I think there is damage fall-off, because I shot from range, 125 to the body, I followed with a storm shot, and all of a sudden it was like, no damage. And I was like, why didn't it die? So I'm actually pretty sure there are damage drop-off, which I think that it should not be. Like, if they're gonna release an ability like that, do not give it damage drop-off. I think that's kind of stupid. But that's my personal opinion again. Besides that, I think that this is a fairly good buff. I think that this will make it more justifiable to play tank. I don't think it will be as bullshit to play tank, because there's been tournaments that I used to play in where in King's Row I could walk up through hotel. I marked hotel, so I know there was no one there. Walked up behind the Reinhardt and one tapped him with my scatter. I think that I landed like a body shot in before, and that is immediate damage. He could not react to that scatter arrow because he doesn't know that it's coming before he dies. With Stormbow, at least the Reinhardt would have time to try to do an angle on his shield, like turn around. Of course, then my team would have shot him, but at least he has the opportunity to do that in a situation where my team would not have shot him, or angle himself in the corner where I could not land all my shots. At least he has the opportunity to do that. Same goes for their supports, for whatever, as long as you don't, because you can't one-tap them. You can't one-tap their support, their DPS, or whatever. You have to land multiple shots. So if they are peeking a corner and you land a body shot and you don't finish them, you can't just, they peek the corner and with full HP and you just like Stormbow shoot them down. A lot of times then they have time to unpeek if they want to. Compared to something like Scatter, where they peeked the corner and they died as soon as they like put their little toe was around that corner. I think this is way better. I think that this will do that there will be a huge now skill gap in between some Hanzo players, some other Hanzo players in the pick consistency, because I know some players are very reliant on scatter arrow kills, and then their Stormbow kills are more reliant on, you know, actually just like RNGing it. Well, I think other Hanzo players like me will actually benefit from this. I can't really say that before now, but I think that with the projectile speed increase, with the leap ability added, right, and with the fact that we have, you know, we can do these 6 spammable shots and they can do potentially more damage than a scatter arrow on a tank, as long as we land all of them and we land headshots, I think that this can be really great. I'm very excited for this. I don't think this is a bad buff. I think this is a really good buff, but I would love to hear your opinions down in those comments, as always, guys. Very sorry about no stream, but my name has been Jonal, okay? You gotta take care of yourself, stay positive, and as always, keep the enemy in your crosshair.